Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another session of this Ramadan's teachings. We know that there are some people, well, they're not working, right? Or they take a break for Ramadan. They think we want to dedicate our time for Allah. And it so happens that during the day, they fall asleep all the way late in the morning until just about after Asr. And they get up and they have to perform Dhuhr and Asr because they missed them while they were asleep. Well, we have a leave, according to the Prophet Muhammad, may Allah exalt his mention, if one of us sleeps in or forgets to perform prayer, he must perform it as soon as he remembers, okay? But to sleep in on regular basis instead of performing salah on regular basis, one will be wasting the value of fasting. You see, why Allah called fasting is like patience, endurance, perseverance. Because a person who's fasting, he suffers. Well, all kinds of difficulties. Call it hunger, thirst, exhaustion, whatever. And he'll be rewarded for enduring all these patiently. But imagine a person who spends the night awake, not awake to remember Allah, watching the screen in front of him, movies, shows, soap operas, and so on and so forth. And, well, almost all the night. Probably he would perform Fajr prayer. Some of them, Allah knows best, they don't. Then, they knock off. They sleep most of the day. One will be missing the value or the merits of sufferings in Ramadan. Why? Because you see, particularly these days, we are in summer, right? And the temperature is very high. We know that, of course. I don't mean to say that one should not sleep at all. Well, of course, we have the siesta. You perform Dhuhr prayer and go home and have some rest. Even sleep until Asr, no problem. But as long as you get up and perform Dhuhr prayer on time and Asr prayer on time, every other prayer on time, alhamdulillah, nothing wrong with that, because you need that rest. But to sleep most of the day, to miss Dhuhr and Asr prayer and say, well, I was asleep, well, it is excused if you did it once in a while. But to do it on regular basis, this is wrong, akhi. Because Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ كَانَتْ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ كِتَابًا مَوْقُوتًا. Prayer been described for the believers to be performed on schedule. So you can't like somebody says, Sheikh, I usually sleep in for Fajr, and I can't make it. I always perform it after the sun rises. Akhi, you are allowed to do that as a leave once in a while, but on regular basis, this is wrong, that you are negligent of your prayer. You'll be considered among those الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ, those who are negligent of their prayers. Allah says, وَيْلٌ, Wayl. Wayl is a valley in Jahannam, in hell. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Allah is promising those who are negligent of their prayer to be dumped into that Wayl, into that valley in hellfire. You don't like that, do you? I know probably when you sit up in the night watching that TV screen all the night, watching all kinds of things that all be accumulated as sins on you, you will not get one single merit for it, because you're wasting your time, because the Ramadan's night is the time for remembering Allah. You see, this is very important. Besides, you find some people actually wasting their time in the night of Ramadan in particular, the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Go in the marketplaces and supermarkets and department stores and see how many of them are there. Crowds after crowds after crowds. Packing those shopping malls. When? In the last 10 days of Ramadan, during the night of Al-Qadr, probably one of them will end up spending the night of Al-Qadr in a shopping mall instead of spending it remembering Allah. You know, maybe some of them will go just for window shopping, for that matter. Really. They just go around and loitering, actually, here and there, and that's it. And he'll come exhausted. At the end, either he takes a suhoor meal or he knocks off right away. And all the night, the day, during the day, he'll be asleep. This is very serious, akhi. This is very serious. It's a waste of time. The time will be responsible for it. You know that Allah will... The very first thing man will be questioned about on the day of resurrection, among those things that he will be questioned about, is his time, as to whether he spent that time in things that will benefit him in the hereafter, or wasting him for these worldly affairs, shopping here or there, loitering around. And what do you achieve? Nothing, absolutely nothing. We have to remember these things, because Allah is going to hold us accountable for the time. The time is a grace from Allah. And every grace that Allah grants man, He shall question him about it. Are you ready now to be questioned about the time in Ramadan that you waste in these places? Remember that. We ask Allah to help us take advantage of our time, so that when we stand before Him, we'll be happy and we'll be admitted into Jannah. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.